everyone. My name is Jasmine Bowens of Simplistic Administrative Management. I am here with Mr. Mike
Yeah.
Cogbill of the 4th District here in Philadelphia. He is running for the Senate seat. Right here on the Vibes podcast, we are going to do a little interview. So,
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. What's up, Vibes family? I'm Mike Cogbill. I'm an organizer. I'm an activist. I'm a problem solver. And I'm running for state senate because I want to put power in the hands of the people. I'm so happy to join you guys today.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I like the little
Yeah.
intro.
Yeah.
So, can you tell the people where you're from originally?
Yeah, so I grew up in North Philly. I'm from 25th and Cambria. I
Okay.
currently live in Germantown on the
Hmm.
4900 block of Germantown Avenue. I grew up in between like North and Mount Airy. My
Nice.
mom worked at Scepter when she would work overnight. When I was too young to stay home by myself, I would
Hmm.
go to my aunt's house, stay with her and her husband
Okay.
here and there. And yeah, I just been in the Northwest now since I've been about 10 years old.
Okay.
And yeah, now I'm running in a district that stretches from the 4900 block of Germantown Avenue,
Hmm.
and we go all the way up to the Willow Grove Mall.
Oh.
It's a state house district. So when you hear gerrymandering and maps and stuff like that,
Hmm.
um, it's not unbeknownst to ask the question like, how do I equally represent Germantown and then represent the folks in Cheltenham, Glenside, and then Willow Grove? Like, how do I equitably represent both of those populations? So I think my
That's
work is
true.
cut out, and I want to do it.
That's awesome because you
Yeah.
don't really think about that because we were having this discussion earlier. You
Uh,
don't think that it's a large area, but
I
it's
don't.
different. It's different neighborhoods. It's different socioeconomic, different racial makeups. There's different things within the neighborhoods.
It is most of the neighborhood. I say, like the bulk of it is Mount Airy, Chestnut Hill, East
Hmm.
Mount Airy, West Mount Airy, Chestnut Hill, Glenside, West Oak Lane. I'll say like those are they could be considered affluent neighborhoods. We got a small piece of Nice Town,
Hmm.
um, most of Germantown, uh, and then Willow Grove is also like the suburbs. I'll say we probably had the most Republican voters on the side of
Oh,
Willow Grove and Abington and
okay.
Rockledge, but beneath there, Mount Airy, Germantown, and whatnot, is more Democratic voters. So yeah, but I do think the district is small. Don't feel like I'm 37 years old.
Hmm.
And I'm kind of just used to being on the go since like high school. I remember I used to walk from Roosevelt Middle School to North Philly to 25th in Cambria. like
What kind of
I
sneakers did you have
I would
on?
look. They would. I don't even know, but I know I sold that token. I know. I know I wanted a water ice and a pretzel, and that token got sold. And then I would hike it. I would like that was I wanted a snack after school, so
Hmm.
I preferred the walk, and I would be walking in a group or so yeah. The district just isn't that small to me because I've had to catch buses or travel long distances since a youth. So
Okay.
it's nothing from my house to Rockledge or to the corner from Germantown to Willow Grove Mall. It takes 30 minutes. From one end of the district to another, it will only take 30 minutes in driving time.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you mentioned Republicans. Are you a
yeah.
Democrat?
I'm a Democrat. Yeah,
Okay. So when people go to the polls on Tuesday,
yeah,
the 19th of
yeah,
May, for those who voted, so let's say people they're not registered yet.
yeah.
Do they still have time before the election?
Unfortunately, if you haven't registered by May 4th,
Yeah.
you can't vote in this particular primary. You could
Mhm.
vote in the general, but we do have like voter registration deadline. One of the policies that we want to push for is same day voter registration. Like if you decide to get up and go to the polls, this
Mhm.
candidate has moved me, or this particular policy makes me want to vote.
Mhm.
We want same day voter registration so that people can make that decision like at the last minute. Show up to the polls, you will register, and then you will select the candidate that moved you to get registered and vote.
Okay.
Yeah, we
So
really want same day voter registration in Pennsylvania.
that would be awesome.
Yeah, they
Are there
would.
other states that do that already?
I'm not sure. I'm sure there are other states where they have same day voter registration, and this might potentially be the states that have had progressive
Mm,
legislatures already. Maybe you can do it in Maine. Let me check. Let me
okay.
do the research. But there are states that have same day voter registration. On the federal level, like bills like the Save Act and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
they want to stop that. No same day registration.
Mm,
They want all of your details for you to be able to register to vote. They
yeah,
want to stop immigrants from voting and stuff like that. They want to stop people of color from voting. So yeah, the federal government, the current administration wants to make it harder to vote, but Democrat like we want to make it easier for people to vote.
exactly.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's good to know. You
yeah,
broke down where you're from.
yeah,
You're 37, you're a young man
yeah,
who's on the political trail.
yeah.
So is this your first voyage into representing the neighborhood?
Nah,
And
yeah.
so tell me about that story. How did you get into this?
Um. Okay, so maybe this isn't my neither my first campaign or my first time ever doing like government advocacy or government
Mm,
work. I got into this. My aunt is a legislator.
mm-hmm.
I kind like I said, I would be around her when I would be when my mother was at work.
Mm-hmm.
um, I got to meet people like Shaka Fatah and Curtis Jones and Vincent Hughes and stuff like that. Like these
Okay.
people who kind of inspired me to be a leader. But like I think these folks are like good servants. Seeing that relentlessness of like fighting for my community, or a senior saying, "Hey, I'm gonna call like Shaka. I'm gonna call Vincent Hughes if this
Mm-hmm.
don't go right. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my And I think I really something that happens a lot in the world that I come from, when you do issue advocacy, when you do grassroots lobbying and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Like people that be like, I remember the first time a white person was like, "Thank you for what you do." I was working at this organization called Ceasefire,
Okay.
and I never forget just getting a thank you letter and a gift card, and it's like, "Thank you for what you do. Thank you for all you do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
thank you for your contribution to our democracy and whatnot."
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, I kind of like being thankful for doing the right thing, or for trying to like make our world better. So um, I just fell in love with organizing. I worked at the AFL-CIO. I worked at Ceasefire PA.
Mm-hmm.
I worked at the NAACP. I did voter protection for the Democratic Party. I did voter protection for a nonprofit organization called Common Cause. So I was saying to my pastor, I do think I'm anointed to do this work.
Mm-hmm.
The way it comes to me, or the way I'm able to understand it, the way I'm able to mobilize and whatnot. Uh, but it's been a long journey. This is my third time running. I ran for the state house. I ran for Congress. I ran against Congress member Dwight Evans before. Got myself on the ballot. They challenged my petition. I served as my own attorney. I collected all my own petitions. So I think I even engage in this work somewhat in an untraditional way. But that's because like I've had the knowledge
The
of being
background,
around
yeah.
these people, and so I can kind of run without endorsements, or I can kind of get myself on the ballot without, I'm sorry, without having a machine behind me or having people to knock doors.
Mm-hmm.
And I also got to say, I'm not like a machine type candidate. So the leftist groups and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot uh, aren't supporting me, and I think like the centrist, the Democratic Party isn't.
Mm-hmm.
But I know all of these people. I've been around them. They know I'm a good speaker. They know I'm a strong candidate.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the nature of politics, and I think I kind of like it. Like I don't want to be beholden to anyone. I think people like have to understand. Like I'm fighting for black men. Like I'm fighting for women of color.
Yeah.
I'm fighting like. Every time I'm gonna do what's right for us. Every time, like win or lose, I'm fighting for us, and people going to understand our plight. I
Mm-hmm.
want people to know what we go through. I want people to know what economic apartheid is. I want people to know what education apartheid is. I want
Mm-hmm.
people to know like what we're fighting against, because it's holding us back.
Okay, that was such
Yeah,
a lively, detailed answer. Thank you so much.
yeah. Thank you. I'm
S-
Pat, but it's real. I don't.
Seriously, it's
Yeah,
authentic for
I
sure.
feel like Huey. I feel like Bobby sometimes. Like Martin is my favorite person, with all of his flaws as well. I
Mm-hmm.
like even the flaws that like these people. Malcolm. Like these people are, if you really sit back, like they was kind of like that growing in the
Mhm.
civil rights, but these people chasing us with dogs and
Mhm.
spraying us with like these people were like that. They were real revolutionaries. Yeah.
Okay. So, thank you for that. So, the question that I have now, I know that in our neighborhood, because I also am from the Germantown area,
Mhm.
why do you think people choose not to vote in local elections? Because it's things like this that keeps people like you out. People within our community out
Yeah.
of political races and winning. It's because our community members aren't going out to vote. Some of
Yeah.
them aren't even, registered. So how can we get people out and stay interested in what's happening around them?
Yeah. I think for like, impacted communities, I think our challenges are multifaceted. So it's
Mm-hmm.
something they talk about in politics called like the cost of participation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's like the cost of showing up to the polls, the cost of volunteering, the cost of
Mm-hmm.
donating to your favorite candidate,
Yep.
to the people that you believe in. Like the cost of participation is high. Um, so I think trying to offset that,
Mm-hmm.
figuring out ways to get people involved without being expensive, figuring out how to like get black people to harness our political power without having to take off from work.
Mm-hmm.
Cause again, we work 8, 9, 10 hours an hour just to make half of what another demographic makes. So
Mm-hmm.
we can't go to the polls if we gotta be at the job at 8 o'clock. And
Exactly.
I'm too
Picking up
tired. And then
kids from
after work,
daycare.
picking up your kids from daycare after work, you can't get to the polls. So I don't know. I think it can be a mix of people who just can't participate
Mm-hmm.
or who don't have the capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't think we're inspired by like these candidates. Now,
Yeah.
I'm you might have heard names like John Fetterman and Bob Brooks, and it's this guy from Maine who
Mm-hmm.
they have decided they want to be the Democratic nominee. And I remember this guy, they were saying that he had like a swastika tattooed on. So
Wow.
I just think even the people we pick are the people we choose to elevate. In
Mm-hmm.
my neighborhood, we got a like state rep that can't read. And these people have like put this person in there. And it's kind of like, I think we gotta just make better decisions and choose people that's going to mobilize our communities, or choose people that's going to inspire us to vote, and maybe even try to work around that cost of participation and do everything they can to show up. But we got to hire better candidates. We got to hire inspiring candidates. We got to support them. We got to give them a chance. And I think, we will start showing. Yeah, yo, nobody showed up like Obama. I'll tell one thing about, and we always say this. So the first Obama campaign, they was spending money. They was,
Mm-hmm.
campaign money and whatnot, paying people to do the work. The second time, Obama was such an influential candidate when he ran in 2012. Like it wasn't no campaign. We was all working for free. We would be in Virginia, 6 people to a house,
Mm-hmm.
knocking doors and what, like literally, we would go
Wow.
to stay at somebody's house and we would be so inspired. I got $20 a day. I got enough money for some lunch and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever else I needed, be knocking on the doors.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, that was a candidate that inspired. That was our first black president. So we were inspired. But since then, look at what we got. Like, why would we go vote? We always talking about voting for the lesser of two evils. Candidates that don't fully have our back, or candidates that have hurt us in the past, and we got to choose out of that person
Mm-hmm.
or somebody that might hurt us in the future. And it's kind of like, I can understand why our participation levels aren't that high. And it's not
Definitely.
an excuse, but
It's
again,
real life
it's real
because
life.
if you are a Tuesday is a normal Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's why we see a lot of people who are like senior citizens voting.
Yeah.
We see a lot of people who are already in the political space. They're
Yeah.
making sure they're voting. But the average person, they can't take off. I don't know. Maybe I have this image in my mind, but when I was younger, I remember them having like half days on on Tuesdays to vote. Like, has that gone
The
away?
the schools are closed, but no, I don't think
Oh,
it's no half days. In the state house, I want to
I
pass
get it.
a state holiday for election day, and there's something we could do, like organize it, the bars. How about if you wear your I voted sticker? You come here on Tuesday. If you vote, you get half off your drink. You
I would
get
love
half
that.
off your cocktail. You get
Yeah.
half off your meal. We should be able to go to Snipes
Mm-hmm.
with your I voted sticker. All right, well, you get 25% off of your purchase. I think we need to figure out ways to like and just engage everybody, make voting um more popular,
Mm-hmm.
or just really get people in, and it just takes like a lot of work. And in the midterms coming up, and as we prepare for the next election, I implore organizations to start thinking about that. We've had DJs at the polls and whatnot, and party at the polls and stuff like that to get people mobilized. But I think we need a little bit more. I would love to go to the bar with my I voted sticker, and it's like, all
I
right,
get a
well, I get
discount.
a Long Island for
Yeah, it's
five
Taco
dollars. It's
Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's important. I think we really got to make election day like a celebration.
I love that.
Yeah,
So
and it always falls on a Tuesday. So
it is. They're going to make sure
what
of it.
better way to party than have a reason to
Exactly.
party on a Tuesday than for
Exactly.
elections?
There's Fat Tuesday. There's Taco Tuesdays.
Yeah,
There's so many Tuesdays.
yeah.
Cinco de Mayo's today, by
Cinco
the
de
way.
Mayo is Tuesday. Yeah.
Um, so because you are a young man from the neighborhood that you are trying to get the seat in, why should someone vote for you versus the other Democratic seat?
Or the other candidate.
The other candidate.
Yeah,
See, and I also want to mention how
yeah,
a lot of these political figures, they are voted in because they had nobody to run against them.
yeah.
Right?
He's run
That happens
unopposed
often.
twice.
Now you are coming in,
Yeah,
you're kicking down the door,
yeah.
and you're saying
He
vote for
ain't
me.
happy either.
Don't vote for him. So why should we vote for you? Someone from the neighborhood, someone we see beating the pavement often.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, you saw it as we were kind of
Mhm.
um like people from the neighborhood recognize me. I
Mhm.
show up. I'm younger, and like I said, the district is small. It's a lot of people that need help. Like
Mhm.
it's a lot of work to be done. We got a moral crisis in Harrisburg and in Washington, and I just think we need somebody younger. Um, the folks older than the incumbent want to keep the incumbent, but
Mhm.
anybody under 69, they're saying like it's time for a new direction or it's time for new blood.
Mhm.
Um, and I want to do the work. I'm an experienced organizer. I've done issue advocacy. I'm going to say the district that I'm running in, we have some of the smartest, some of the wealthiest, some of the strongest
Mhm.
um, voters like throughout the state. If I was to mobilize my district, doing issue advocacy, doing postcarding, doing lobby days, like doing the work, we could literally dominate the state. Like the fourth senatorial district could decide who the next state, the next U.S. senator is. We can decide who the next United States president. Like, is that much power that's in the fourth district? Is that much power
Mhm.
amongst our advocates? We're the highest voting district in the state. The wards, the ninth ward, the 50th ward, the 22nd ward, the most powerful voting wards. I want to do this work because I know if I mobilize these people, like we're gonna tear it up. We got good issue at black issue advocates, white issue advocates, Christian issue advocates, Jewish issue advocates, Muslim advocates.
Mhm.
Like we can literally dominate the state if we have somebody that's willing to lead the charge. We can raise the minimum wage. We can codify our civil liberties. We can get a progressive tax formula. We could tax the rich. Like we could do it all if we just get somebody to mobilize.
And what people sometimes fail to realize is that Pennsylvania is such an important state. Pennsylvania can make or
Battleground
break
state,
a
man.
presidential election.
We do.
Seriously,
We
often.
did it in 2020 when our numbers came in. That's when they called it. They was like, "Oh, Pennsylvania did it." Then that was it. But we do. Um, And then we also got some issues. We got one of the high in Philly. We got one of the highest wage taxes, and then we got the lowest minimum wage at 7.25. So when people talk about like how poor our city is, it's like that's not fair. Like, why
Mhm.
somebody who's making $7.25 an hour being taxed at the same rate as Joel Embiid or Tyrese Maxey? Like, that's
Mm.
unfair. And they might, if Embiid is in Jersey or not living in the city, like if these people aren't living it, then they pay less taxes than somebody who lives in the city who works at a fast food restaurant. So a lot of these policies are unfair. I don't like getting into the what sex I identify with, or I consider myself to be, but at the end of the day, we all know like these
Mhm.
policies are wrong. I think I was just mentioning the fact that Congress is in a battle about being able to buy a hot rotisserie chicken
Mhm.
with your
Snap.
with SNAP and food stamps. And somebody said, like, I just don't understand. And I think it's quite simply to be mean. It's policy violence. You can buy
Mhm.
chips, you can buy candy, you can buy soda, you can buy whatever snack you want from the Poppy store with SNAP. But I can't go get a smoothie, or I can't get like a warm rotisserie chicken that'll
Mhm.
feed 3 people. Like, this is policy violence. And like,
Yeah.
somebody just gotta step up, make noise, not be afraid.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like punishment for poverty.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And when they get to acting crazy, I might get to the state house and now we got a squabble because you ain't, I don't know. But I think like we deserve somebody with a
Mhm.
different phenotype. We deserve somebody
Yeah.
who knows the community. I can tell you about reproductive justice. I could tell you about OBH. Like, I think we need somebody that's multifaceted and somebody
Mhm.
that like understand everybody.
See?
Yeah.
See, look, this is the freshness that we need. We need
Mm,
somebody who, one, who knows what they're talking about. And we
yeah.
also don't need you to be a full blown lawyer who is just so disconnected from the community, because oftentimes that happens, right? You come up in
Yeah.
private schools, you go to certain colleges, you move away from the city, do Lord knows what, you might
Yeah.
come back and it's like a shoe in for you to win a political seat. But when was the last time you walked the streets? When was the last time you shook a hand
Yeah.
of your neighbor, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
I went to a public. I graduated from Martin Luther King. Yeah. Like, I graduated from a public school. I was super proud. I want people to know public schools work. I hate the fact that they're shutting down schools,
yeah.
but public schools do work. And I think if we make our public schools better, if we
Mm-hmm.
make them stronger,
Mm-hmm.
more efficient, better programmatic education, if we got our kids in the Wissahickon, um, and in the Gresham Valley Trail and whatnot, and learning environmental education and learning like and really like enhancing people's curiosity, I think we're going to be so much smarter. And a lot more young black people can get a Vibes podcast studio, or have a beautiful studio. No, I'm serious, but like being able to live out your dream and do what you want or do what makes you happy
Mm-hmm.
can determine whether you live long or you die young.
Yep.
Like, I'm serious. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it means so much to be able to have a place to go that makes you happy. Even me performing well is probably because I'm in this studio and I feel like the way you feel is deeply important.
Yes.
Like, it's deeply important. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of our people just don't feel good. We just don't have an upward economic mode. Like, it's just always something.
It's
Your
just
mama be like, it's always something. But yeah, when you realize it's like, as a person of color in this country, it's always something.
yes. That's very true. Um, so with you, you're running Tuesday the 19th
Yeah.
is the day of the election.
Yeah.
Um, what are some things you want to accomplish before then? Like, I know for myself that we plan on definitely hitting the streets more. We
Absolutely.
definitely plan on being in crowds more,
Yeah.
shaking hands, kissing babies,
Yeah.
possibly. So what are some things that you want to accomplish before that day?
Um, well, I think this was one of the, like, I did a podcast with my pastor,
Mm-hmm.
Pastor Waller of Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church. And I think doing a podcast for like the neighborhood, or doing a podcast for the street, like being on the so the earned media
Mm-hmm.
um is deeply important. I know we want a couple more newspaper articles. I'm on my way to pick up an endorsement tonight, an important labor endorsement this evening. Um, so I think, and then yeah, meeting people, touching people, hearing what people want, and really like mobilizing our people to get involved. Like
Mhm.
um asking what folks need. How can I prepare a grant for this studio, or like what's some of the resources I can direct to help
Mhm.
another young black business owner, or like, yeah, just figuring out what people need. And I guess I want to say, like, I really want to serve. Like, I pick up trash with my bare hands. I put constituents in my car. Like, I think I think I'm a humble servant. Like, I just want to do the work. Like, I want people to um challenge me and hold me accountable
Mhm.
and require, and I want black people to do, like, require the transparency, or
Yeah.
what are you working on, or how are you making our neighborhood better. Like, I just want to serve us. I want to like have somebody that's good for us.
And the good thing about the Senate is we're not just talking about the city of Philadelphia. We're
Yeah.
talking about the whole state.
Yes.
So you have your hand in what laws might get passed,
Yeah.
what programs might be
Yeah.
accessible to people.
Mm.
So it's very important. And to
Yeah.
have somebody from Senate in your neighborhood
Yeah.
for kids to look up to, I I would think it's great if you like did a tour of elementary schools. Like,
Yeah.
yay, cool. Like one day I can be this guy. Yeah, you can.
Yeah. I think we do got to show people that you know, it can be achieved, or just showing young people. Yeah, I would love to do that.
Hmm.
I would love to do. Just while it's on my mind though, like when we talk about like the policies that could. So it was something called, this guy out of South Philly. I like him. I ain't gonna say his name, but I
Hmm.
do like him. He is a solid senator, pretty smart. But he passed this bill called, got this bill passed called like the whole home repairs.
Hmm.
And this was like such an important piece of legislation for seniors and folks who live in impacted communities,
Mm,
and folks who are from marginalized backgrounds and whatnot,
yeah.
where basically you could get a grant to repair your roof or repair your, like, and we lost that money. um
Really? So it's no longer there?
it didn't make it through the budget proposal for this fiscal year.
Wow, because I
um
was thinking about getting my grandma involved. Like she needs her
yeah.
roof. There's so many things because oftentimes with seniors, it's like yes, you make below a certain amount that you can qualify for like what is it, Medicaid or Medicare,
Yep,
one of
yep,
them.
yep.
But at the same time, if you go out and get a little part-time job, there is a limit.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's like I don't even have enough to save up for a roof. Like some people don't have homeowners insurance.
Yeah.
The taxes are high. It's like we need to help our seniors for sure.
The benefits cap does hurt us.
Hmm.
Um, but again, there are programs like such, like we always talk about housing insecurity and
Hmm.
homelessness, but the best way to like fight housing insecurity is to help people stay in the home that they already have, or to improve on the home that they already have. So yeah, I was disappointed to see whole home repair. Like that bill was like that was a tight piece of legislation. Like that was
Mm.
something good, and it's been a minute since we got something that was really revolutionary, or
Yeah.
something that could really, yeah.
I want to see Pennsylvania come into 2026, right? Because a certain thing that Philadelphia, and I don't know about the whole state, Philadelphia is losing a lot of their talented people to other states that pay more, that has better infrastructure as
Mm-hmm.
far as bridges, trains, things like that. Well,
Yeah,
Philly has, I love SEPTA, let me not get that wrong. But a lot of our talented people are leaving because
yeah.
725. What is seven? Is it 715 or 725?
So it's 725.
And it's like people want to stay. People love Philadelphia, but Philadelphia is also booming. We have a lot more people coming in from other states to work in,
Mm-hmm.
but it's only certain industries, and even that's a little gatekeepy when
Yeah.
it comes to Philly. So it's just I just want the state. Let's just say the state, not even the city. We need to come into the current state of affairs.
No, I agree. I agree. That's why I say, like, I'm fighting for a new direction in Pennsylvania. We gotta raise their wage. We gotta start creating uh, job opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
training opportunities for marginalized communities. The last thing I probably like leave with are one of the biggest things I want to do. So in the fourth senatorial district, we got like uh maybe five or six colleges.
Mm-hmm.
We got Chestnut Hill College, we got Arcadia,
Mm-hmm.
we got LaSalle, we got Penn State, Abington.
Mm-hmm.
Like we got some really good. I would love to see a program in which like young people in 11th and 12th grade
Mm-hmm.
start to use those buildings or start to go to those colleges
Mm-hmm.
to either earn credits
Mm-hmm.
or utilize their labs or utilize their libraries for research. Um, Research is someone put like knowing how to do research. You
Mm-hmm.
can't get a place like without knowing how to do research because none of us know what's going on, and it's a lot of
AI
things.
is very
You talking
important.
about gatekeeping?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, AI is important, but that engine conducts the research that we had to do before
Mm-hmm.
AI was introduced. But
Exactly.
you have to be able to do research to like help yourself or and I just think teaching young people how to like do research or find information or learn information or learn on their own, like
So they can
autonomous
advocate
learning,
for
so they
themselves.
advocate for themselves and then improve their lives. Like that, I think that's important. So just giving us access to them colleges. If you were junior or senior uh in the fourth senatorial district, like I think you should have access to, and if you from West Philly, like you should have access to Penn. Like that school, that Penn avoids taxes or is a tax dodging institution. It's like our kids can't come there and use your labs or use your libraries or
Mm-hmm.
use your swimming pools or use your basketball. So I think we gotta overall start making these higher education institutions like deal with our children. You can't just come here and educate rich people
Mm-hmm.
and send them off so that we can work for them. Like you have to start
Be a part of the
education us,
community.
being a part of the community, and we got to create like a education ecosystem uh to almost offset the problem with the school district, like all these schools closing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't want to keep you, but I
Yeah.
do want the viewers to know that if you're interested in learning more, you
Yeah.
should go to his website. Can you tell them what your website is?
Yeah, the website is www.mikecogbill.org.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on that website, you can learn a little bit more about him, and you can also donate to his campaign if you're interested. So you'll find that online.
Yeah.
Do you want to close with anything?
Yeah, thanks to the Mike and the Vibes podcast. Thank you, Jazz. I'm really excited to be on here. I like I said, this resonates with who I am. Like
Mm-hmm.
talking to the demographics that share my phenotype or share what I want out of our government or are looking for more upward economic mobility. And also, I think we just organized like a motorcade with the Crown Vic
Mm-hmm.
team, and so I'm really looking forward to that. I think that made me like really happy. I just want to get us involved in politics, and I want to be a representative or somebody that like black and brown people from impacted communities can trust,
Mm-hmm.
feel proud of, and somebody that makes them want to mobilize and show up and whatnot. But thank you to the Vibes podcast. I'm just happy to be on here.
Well, Mike,
Yeah,
after this interview and knowing you
yeah,
for this short amount of time, I
yeah.
am definitely looking up to you. I love the fact that you have
Appreciate
been
it.
able to inform the community. You're out there, your face is out there.
Yeah,
Votes are coming in.
yeah.
The 19th, I will see you at the polls, and
See
you will
you at
also
the
see
book.
Mike.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But we wouldn't have, you give me a newfound energy. Like I appreciate it. I know you smart, Mike. Know you smart. Like you help. We need y'all. Like black men, we need y'all support. We need y'all intellectual capacity. Like we need y'all, and y'all need us too. But we need we need y'all. Yeah.
Yes, so thank you, Mike, from the Vibes Podcast. We are out of here, and see you next time.